Some 40 years ago now, I suppose, I had nearly 300 books on shelves and in boxes scattered around the house. They covered a wide range of topics, both fiction and nonfiction. But I would say probably that the bulk of them were probably more related to theology and doctrine from my classes that I had been taking at a Christian liberal arts college. I have to say that very slowly. Over time, after several moves, 2 divorces, downsizing my living space twice, and decluttering to live a more minimalist lifestyle, I now have a total of 13 books. And I'm not ashamed to say that nearly half of those are by Henry Nouwen. That's a bit of a change. One of the books that I will never give up is this one by Eugene Peterson, A Long Obedience in the Same Direction. It is a quintessential look at what living the Christian life as what Bill Hybels calls a fully devoted follower of Christ. Lately, I've been rereading it, and as I've been going through it, I realized that the same kinds of truths found in this book on discipleship also hold a lot of truth about minimalism and living a minimalist life. Now, let me explain. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to equate minimalism with Christianity. Let's not even go there. Far from it. But there are some crossover ideas in this book that fit. Just as discipleship requires an unwavering commitment to the teachings of Jesus Christ, minimalism calls for a lifelong dedication to living with intentionality and embracing a simpler way of life. Eugene Peterson's notion of a long obedience in the same direction speaks to this idea of consistency and perseverance and a steadfast commitment. It emphasizes the importance of staying true to a particular path or a set of beliefs despite all the challenges and the temptations that you would face along the way. In the context of discipleship, it calls for a lifetime journey of faith, characterized by discipline, patience, and an unwavering dedication to following the teachings and examples of Jesus. Minimalism, much like discipleship, is not a destination, but rather it is a journey. And we've talked about that before on this channel. It's a continuous process of simplifying and decluttering one's life, not just one's possessions. We are trying to declutter our lives in pursuit of greater meaning and fulfillment. And embracing minimalism requires more than just a one-time purge of your belongings. It necessitates a fundamental shift in mindset and your lifestyle. Just as a disciple commits to following Jesus Christ, a minimalist commits to living with intentionality and aligning their actions with their values. And to be honest, this one simple word describes it best in my opinion, and you will hear me say it a lot today. Intentionality. It is an intentional decision. You can't be a fully devoted follower of Christ by walking willy-nilly through life just letting things happen to you. And you can't call yourself a minimalist by decluttering your house and then going about your life reacquiring all the things you just carted out. Like discipleship, the minimalist life requires intentionality. The minimalist lifestyle is often portrayed as some radical departure from mainstream consumer culture, a rejection of excess, and a deliberate choice to focus on what truly matters. However, True minimalism or essentialism is not about depriving yourself. It's not about asceticism. Rather, it's about finding freedom and contentment in simplicity. It's a journey of discovering what adds value and meaning to our lives and letting go of the rest. At the heart of minimalism lies this principle of intentionality, the deliberate decision to curate our lives in a way that reflects our priorities and our values. This requires an ongoing reflection and a continual evaluation, as well as the willingness to let go of possessions and habits and even sometimes relationships that no longer serve us. Just as a disciple must continually renew their commitment to following Jesus, a minimalist must continually reassess their possessions and their commitments to ensure that they align with their desired way of living. Like any journey, I suppose, the path of minimalism is not without its challenges. In a society that equates possessions with success and consumption with happiness, choosing to live with less can be met with skepticism. It might even be met with resistance from others in your life. In addition, the allure of consumerism, and it's strong, and the constant bombardment of advertisements can make it difficult to resist the temptation to simply continue to accumulate more. However, just as a disciple must withstand trials and temptations on their spiritual journey, a minimalist must remain steadfast in their commitment to simplicity. And this requires cultivating resilience and staying focused on the long-term benefits of living with less. Things like greater freedom, clarity of life, and fulfillment. In the pursuit of minimalism, it's essential to embrace progress over perfection. One of the things I've personally sort of taken issue with from the Minimalist podcast and their books is the idea of the rules of minimalism. Minimalism is not about adhering to rigid rules or achieving a certain aesthetic. It's not legalistic in its approach, where you have to abide by these rules or you aren't really a minimalist. Man, that brings back bad memories of my Christian upbringing. Minimalism is about creating a life that reflects our values, a life that brings us joy. And this means that each step we take towards simplification, no matter how small, is worthy of celebration. You cleaned out a junk drawer in your kitchen? Yay, you! You took a single small box of no longer needed or desired possessions to a charity of your choice? Yay, you! Celebrate the small stuff. Just as a disciple grows and matures in their faith over time, a minimalist evolves and refines their lifestyle as they gain clarity about what truly matters to them. It's a journey of self-discovery and personal growth as much as anything. And it is one that requires patience and compassion towards oneself and a willingness to learn from both successes and setbacks. Now let me make this very personal for just a moment. I have made a decision to live more minimally. I find that fits me personally. It fits my financial goals. It fits my retirement lifestyle. But I still struggle. I am constantly torn about buying new camera equipment. Trust me, I am torn about buying new camera equipment. If I just had this new camera body, if I just had this brand new lens, if I just had this tripod or that microphone or that filter or that new camera bag that everybody is bragging about. But it's only through intentionality that I am able to overcome these desires and walk away from the Amazon website. Eating is a big one for me, maybe the biggest. I still eat way too much to actually lose the weight I need to lose. Is eating less minimalist? To a degree, perhaps. And I need to streamline my eating. I find myself aimlessly migrating to the kitchen after 5 in the afternoon to get a snack even when I'm not hungry. And that's not minimalism. I need to approach my food intake with much more intentionality and overcome this curse I have placed upon myself of eating way too much. I still have a ways to go to practice intentionality in this long obedience in the same direction toward minimalism. And before you fill up my comments with, "Don't be so hard on yourself, Tim," I'm not. I'm just trying to be honest about my own struggles. But I'm also intentionally celebrating my victories, even the small ones, and inspired by the concept of a long obedience in the same direction. Minimalism invites us to embark on a lifelong journey of simplification and intentionality. By staying true to our values and committing to living with less, we can experience greater freedom in our lives, whether others agree with us or not. We can experience more fulfillment and certainly more peace of mind. So let us, as people who are trying to live a minimalist lifestyle, let us embrace this path with courage and conviction, knowing that the journey itself is its own reward. We'll see you next time.